So here we are getting ready for the first race, Division 1, Sunday, January 12th. The breeze is from the northwestish, puffy, and their boats are getting ready to start the race. And one thing we notice is there's boats near the line and there's boats that are not near the line. So if those boats are all clear, then those boats are on the line. These boats are a little farther behind. So that's always one thing to focus on is, when in doubt, just get up near the other boats in the front. Assume that the front row knows what they're doing. If there's just one up there, maybe they're a rogue boat. But if there's 3 or 4 in a row up there, assume that they know what they're doing and just go up and be with them. That's just one good rule of thumb. Got a cat. So what happened up at this mark here, everyone got pretty slow, and I couldn't see if the fella got maybe his boom caught on a boat to leeward, and that's why he tipped over. But we can find out. But here comes a puff, and these puffs are tricky. See Rosso in for a landing. All right, so here we go. Start of the next race. I'm obviously in the skybox right now, and I'm fairly near the starting line. So a minute and a half to go, and I'm fairly near the starting line. I'm probably just over it right now. But when I'm sailing in the harbor here with the wind sort of up and down all around, I like to stay near the line in general, because then I'm going to be near the line when comes time to start. If I get way behind the line, like some of these boats are doing, you just have to be sure there's going to be enough wind to get a jump to the line. Now our friend down here, number 9, if they're going to try and make the start, they're way far down. The wind, when you're just going slow in a dinghy, the wind's just going to blow you where the wind's blowing. So that's going to be right to left here. So I like to try and stay up near the line so I can be near the line at the start. Now here's Tom right here at the windward end. He knows where the line is. Have to be a little careful there. He was just looking around. No, you're right. But he's reaching down the line at pretty high speed, so he's going to be down near the golf course when the start comes. Which limits your options when you're down there. 10 seconds to go. Again, I'm behind. I'm a little over the line here. So all very clear. So the first 4 boats pretty good. These boats a little farther behind. So remember, if there's boats on the line that are up ahead of you, close to the line, go with them. It's just a good rule of thumb. Go with the lead group because they're usually correct. Now, when you're sailing upwind on lovely Pequot Harbor, the wind will never stay the same for more than about 5 seconds. It's always going to be up and down in velocity and changing directions. That's why it's so much fun to sail here. So you really want to get to the point where you can be looking at the water ahead of you, sort of ahead and to windward, and see what's happening. Now, I don't know if in the video you can see, but up by the windward mark here, there's some dark spots moving down by B. There's a dark puff right there, and darker water means more wind. On a sunny day like today, it'll be a little more sparkling. So, sparkly, darker water means more wind, and that gives you a good heads up of what's coming next. Hey, so we're watching Tom come downwind here. He started down near the wall, probably took a nice short distance up to the mark, and he's sailing in the lulls. You can sail dead downwind towards your next destination, and then the puffs you might want to head up a little bit to stabilize the boat, because dead downwind, of course, is less stable than a broad reach. Looking back, of course, looking into the sun here, you can see darker water, so these boats are bringing up a puff. It's always good for the boats behind because they get to bring the puffs up and catch up the leader. See, it's never over on the harbor here. It is never over until it's over. Now watching Tom sailing downwind. Big wind shift here. Another thing I like to do when I'm sailing in the harbor here is watch the other boats ahead of me, because that's going to tell me what the wind, and behind me, it's going to tell me what the wind is going to do to me. So right now, if I was the boats behind Tom, good news for Tom, he's in the lead, but the bad news is he's a huge telltale for everybody else. So they can see what's going to happen to the wind. There's obviously a big hole right around the mark there as these boats come in. So here we go, a nice big crowd coming in. Boat number 8, that's Adam, I think, on the inside of 3 other boats, so he gets room around the mark. Boat number 5, that's Reese, should cut up behind boat number 9. Don't round on the outside. Always round behind boats you have to give room to, and you should be able to touch the mark when you go by. So I would say that all these boats are too wide there. I don't know what the tide's doing, but I would guess, based on that, that it's coming in.
PYC 2.
Alright, so well done. Tom gets the bullet in that race. But this is a wide open race for second place here. Now the whole key to this going upwind is making sure you're aware the wind's going to hit you next. Hit you first. So generally in a northerly, that's up towards the shore here. So you can see how Reese, or Adam, is going to be the winner. It's a very close race. Very close finish here. Always finish.
PYC 8, PYC 6, PYC 9.
Listen to that. 8, 6.
PYC 3. Some boat names 4, 5.
Watching Reese sail upwind here. He's headed back towards the line. So we're picking up the action on Dave Rossa working upwind. He's doing a little warming up for Division 2 on a beautiful day. And he's coming upwind. And just, it's always good to watch good sailors do their thing. It's called the Wimbledon effect. They've done studies of tennis players who, after watching Wimbledon for a couple of weeks, when they go out and play tennis, they just play better. So let's just watch Dave in action here as he comes by. You'll notice a few things. Number one, when he comes out of the tack, he makes sure he turns far enough so the boat doesn't slow down at all and get stuck in irons. That's one of the tricks on a boat with just a mainsail. You got to make sure you turn extra far to go through the tack. Now there was a big Pequot wind shift right there. He used his weight to pull right into another tack. But if you notice right there, he just bore off to get the boat going, and that's so important in these boats to keep him moving. You can see him doing his roll tacks right here. Staying down on the new leeward slide as long as possible. Really turning extra far, letting the main out and then trimming into it. Otherwise trying to keep the boat pretty level. Here he's bearing off. You see how that bow goes down in a Dyer, especially in a puff. So very important to move back. Now Dave doing the standing up technique. You may not want to try that at home quite yet until you're more comfortable. But the key is his weight is back and keeping that bow up. It's when that bow goes down that the boat starts to go out of control, and very often it rounds down and then you, for lack of a better term, death roll. So again, Dave coming upwind. Notice his mainsail is all the way up. I see a lot of people out here with their mains not all the way up. Very important to get maximum sail area up. Everything works better. He's got his outhaul fairly loose. It's a big round bow. So obviously you want to keep that bow out of the water. So Dave, I'm just starting a video now, and I just noticed that you're out there checking it out. What have you noticed so far about the wind?
Well, it's puffy for sure. but what I've been focusing on is more direction right now. We've noticed as you get up towards A and B and H, up towards the south side of the harbor, puffs tend to come in from the right off of Perry Green. But there are also a couple lefties coming in, which is forecasted. But the velocity comes in, it seems, from the right. And then from the, as you get down here behind the marina, down by C&D and even off the gas dock, I've noticed that while the pressure seems to remain the same by the golf course side, the new breeze shows up by the marina side.
Interesting.
So it's, it's something that I look for because I want to be in the breeze first.
Yes.
And I want to see where the shift is going to take me, but velocity trumps shift most of the time.
All right, so a couple boats racing back to the starting line. They've just blown the horns after search and rescue is accomplished. So here we can just see the importance of anticipating the puffs. And both boats doing a good job in that breeze to keep their boats level, letting the sail out. And make sure you don't let the boom come in towards the middle of the boat. So if you see your boom, if your boom is luffing, if you see your boom is luffing and it's getting towards the middle of the boat, that means the wind is shifting towards your front and you need to turn away from the wind to stay more on a reach. Staying on a reach, it can be a tight reach, but a reaching angle is safer, gives you more speed, more control, more of a buffer against wind shifts. Mark working his way back up to the line here. Got him. Again, first thing you want to do is turn your boat away from the wind while you still have steerage way. That's probably the biggest takeaway from today, and a day like today with shifting, is keeping the boat moving. The way to keep the boat moving is keep the bow away from the wind. And the way to do that is use your tiller aggressively while you still have steerage way. And I am right on the starting line right now. I am the line. I am the line.
All clear.
Oh, nice smooth sail trim right there. Nice smooth, both level. There's a big puff. You can see it on others before it hits you if you're not in the lead group. Keep your boat moving. Keep your boat moving. That's the whole key. Tom doing a nice job of that. Mark doing a nice job. There you go. You get those big shifts. Pull the sail in. Okay, here comes a big righty. Big righty. You know it's going to be righty because you can see the boats ahead of you getting the righty. It's about to hit number 8 now. You watch. There it comes. I'm looking right at the sun now. I don't even know if I'm looking at sailboats, but there they are. Coming to windward mark. Looks pretty civilized and calm. Nice. Everybody's giving room. Playing by the rules just works better when everybody plays by the rules. Make a mistake, apologize and do your spin. That's all you got to do. Coming downwind, Tom in good shape here. That's Dave Rosso shadowing the race course there. Let the sail out as far as you dare. I always like to sail with telltales on my shroud. Telltales on my shroud tell me where the wind's coming from and lets me make adjustments if the wind is shifting. So I'm tacking and working his way upwind. Dave giving a good run for his money. Here comes Mark for his rounding. Swing wide, cut close. See how Mark came into the buoy close and he's coming out wide and slow. Better to go wide, a full boat length wide. Imagine that the mark is actually a length to the right of where the mark is. Round that. So you're coming up alongside the buoy. You see how all these boats have come in so close to the buoy, then they try to do a bat turn around the mark. Their bodies aren't situated so they can smoothly trim, and the boats get stuck in irons. The mark is just getting going. So that's a simple fix. Come in wider, start to turn more of an arc, so it's a smooth arc, and the sail never luffs. And then I wouldn't recommend tacking literally around the mark unless you have to. I'd rather come around the mark, get sailing, and then tack if you want to do that. Okay, watching Adam go upwind here. Nice speed. Nice puff came, boat heeled a little bit.
UIC 5.
Close finish, 5, 6, and 8. So one reason to tack fairly soon after the leeward mark on this race course is because you can finish on starboard tack. So I think the right call would be come around, flatten your boat, and tack. And then here's Mark here. The Mark's got too much heel. You don't want that much heel. It just digs the leeward side of the boat in the water, and the boat goes too slow. So I recommend a nice flat boat. All right, here we go. This is race number 3. We're just under 2 minutes. We've got about 5 boats out here on the racetrack. So what do we know? We know it's a puffy day. So we want to be sort of always looking to windward, see what puffs are coming. Often you'll feel it on your body before you hit the boat, you know, a second or so sooner. We want to keep our boats moving at all times. We want to know where other boats are so we're not in any kind of situation where we might hit somebody. So Adam's on starboard here. Chris on port. Well done, Chris. There's 1 minute to go. There's Reese, I think a little, I'm on the line. The line's up here, so I think Reese a little far away from the line. I think you can be a little closer where these boats are. Dave Rosso told me he thought the tide was going out, but it's not very strong. Here's Tom on starboard. All right, 30 seconds to go. Tom's jibing. See, Adam pretty far down behind the line right there. That's probably not a great place to be. Here's the line up here. Here's Adam back there. Now you have to go upwind to get to the line. It's risky. All the other boats are taking your wind. If you get a lull, you're in trouble. So I think I'd rather stay on the line. Here's the line up here. Yeah. And they're off like a thundering herd of pregnant turtles. So you can see from that video right there, there's lots of different amounts of main being pulled in. And that's just what's going to come with sailing more and more. Clearly, you want to pull the main in so the boom is getting near the edge of the corner of the boat. So you have maximum power. But, you know, maximum power is just that. It's power, so if a puff comes, you have to let it out. And as you get more and more experience in your rocket ships, you'll be able to sail with your boom in farther. Tom had his boom in more of that beat than other boats, and he got there first. So that's just something to keep in mind. Now watching these boats go around the mark, remember the slower a boat goes forward, the faster it goes sideways. So it's always better to be extra wide around the mark to not take chances. A lot of times if you come in too close on the mark, it all might be good, and then you get one of those Pequot wind shifts, and suddenly you have to pinch a little bit. That's never a good look in a Dyer Dhow, especially. So I always like to put a lot of margin of error coming into those marks. So I can never have to go slow. Slow forward equals fast sideways. Here's Chris going downwind. It's interesting, he's got his, I probably have my hands the other way around, your right hand on the tiller, left hand on the sheet, because you're going to be turning left here. And again, so we're going to talk about that. See how close Chris came in on the near side, and then he's not ready for the turn, and turning around the mark is slow. So that's what we want. That's what we want to take a step up and avoid that. Here comes Adam's rounding. You know, I can tell same thing. Too close on the near side.
Last race, thank you.
Too close on the near side. So he'll be too far on the other side and slow. Big puff coming. Uh-oh. Whoa. Big puff. Big puff coming. But look at the way Mark handled his boat so nicely there. Just headed up a little bit. Things under control.
PYC 6, thank you.
All right, trim the mason. The Reese, I would be tacking good. I think Adam probably went too far before he tacked. He probably could have remembered from last time that you could tack sooner and get to the finishing line. So he's let Reese back into this race here. I think he's still going to be okay here, but I think come around, good rounding, establish your flow, and tack. All right, so Adam's going to be solid here. A little too much heel right there. If you have too much heel, then you're just sinking that leeward side of your boat into the water. So.
PYC 5.
It's on video.
PYC 3, thank you, gentlemen.
So Chris,
All right.
your last race was great. How'd you finish?
Thank you. Second.
Yeah. What was that? Was one of your better races, wasn't it?
It was. The rope, the sheet didn't get tied around my hand or my neck or my foot.
And that was the secret.
That was a secret. Yeah.
Well done.
Thank you.
Bernard, I saw you were thinking about joining the country club there for a while,
Yes.
but you got off and fine, right?
Yeah, except for my tiller. It's completely twisted now in the back.
Oh yeah. It's probably a little rocky over there.
So,
Well, you made it back. Off this boat down here. How'd your day go?
Awesome.
Yeah?
Oh, I am sweating right now.
Yeah. How about that?
We are sweating.
Nice. What was your best finish?
Third.
Nice. Well done.
Third and a couple fourths. We're getting there, you know.
You're consistent.
Consistently in the middle.
Well, that's better than me consistently somewhere else.
Exactly.
So I'm here with Tom. I happen to notice that Tom won all the races today, as I believe. Am I correct about that?
Yeah, well, I was lucky that the races that I wasn't doing so well in people had the first to capsize, so
All right.
pretty that I survived, actually.
Well, modesty aside, what was working for you, do you think?
Well, I think being on the dock side at the start really helped a lot.
Yeah.
And just staying away from other boats. There's too many possibilities for calamities.
Yeah.
And also downwind, just really conservative.
Yeah.
No tricky stuff.
Arrive alive.
Arrival line.
So nice, safe start. Stay away from people. Well, it's easy to stay away from them if you're ahead of them.
Well, but even if you're behind, I mean, just find the clear spot. Don't, even if it's not the most perfect spot, it's better to be clear and no risk of getting tied up.
It seemed like upwind you had a notch of boat speed on people. Do you have a feeling why?
I think, well, I don't know, a day like today, unlike all the lighter days, I have a little bit of a weight benefit. Especially after the holidays. But it may just be also a matter of, getting up on the rail. I wasn't on the rail, but getting back and just keeping the boat flat and trying to really take advantage of the puffs.
Nice.
I think maybe other people were just trying to survive the puffs. So.
Well, great day, man.
Yeah, well, it was good. It felt good.
All right.